I want to ask you some questions. First, I want to ask about God's priority. What is God's priority?
That's probably one of the most important questions, because we have been focusing on what I call the minor, and we've been missing the major.
Well, how true, how right?
Priority has to do with what's the most important thing on earth. And Jesus stated God's priority.
Listen, precious people, this is powerful.
It's found in Matthew chapter 6. He began, first of all, by telling us what is not our priority, which we've made our priority. Our priority as humans is food, clothes, water, house, land, security, and self-actualization.
Exactly.
Which is what Maslow talks about. Every human being watching this program right now, they go to a job or they go to the farm, everything watching this, to get food, water, clothes, covering, protection, security, and self-actualization. Jesus began his statement by condemning all of that. He says, why do you worry? Why do you make priority of food and clothes and land and car and house? He says, the Father knows you need those things. Right. They are not your priority. Then he says, only pagans prioritize those things. Then he says this. He says, but seek ye first. In other words, first means priority. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these other things, he says, will be added to your life. So God's priority is only two things. Spend the rest of your life seeking his kingdom. That means studying it, exploring it, pursuing it, trying to understand it, getting to know how it works. He says, you do that with your life. And then he says, seek righteousness. Righteousness is not a religious word, Pastor Benny. It's from the courts of law. To be righteous means to be rightly positioned with an authority of government. So if you stop at a red light, you are being righteous, because you are literally obeying the law to stay in line with the government. If you run a red light, that's an unrighteous act, because you've broken relationship with the government.
That's right.
So he says, seek the government of God first, and then seek to stay in line with the government. Do those two things. Don't sin, don't break the law, don't violate the covenants. Stay in line with the government, stay positioned properly, and everything you need will be added to your life. That's the most powerful message of Jesus Christ. That's why his first announcement was, change your thinking. The kingdom of heaven has returned to earth.